So I was recently asked, Wolters World, what's the best cheap airline to take as a student when you're studying abroad in Europe? And what you might not realize is there's a lot of budget airlines that you can fly around Europe, which can be really great deals. But one thing I want to say is cheap airlines do not always mean the best flight for you or the cheapest overall price. I know for me, when I look at airlines, and I'm looking for the low cost, the budget airlines to fly around Europe, my favorite one to fly with, the one we try to fly with the most as possible, is actually EasyJet. I find with service quality, flight times, locations, service, EasyJet wins out for me. Now, I've flown with Vueling, I've flown with Ryanair, they have their pluses and minuses, but for me, it's EasyJet because of their location, where they go, all kinds of stuff. That's my go-to one. But one thing I want to tell you, if you're a student or someone that needs to watch your pennies when you're traveling around Europe, if you're looking at airlines, don't think that the cheap airlines, the budget airlines with the really cheap prices, are going to be the cheapest overall cost to get to a destination. Because you have to factor in, do I have to pay for luggage? When is that flight? When does that flight arrive? What airport are they going to? Because sometimes, I mean, I used to live in Lithuania and I would fly Ryanair and I would fly to Stansted outside of London and I would get these cheap flights going in, but I'd get in so late at night trying to get into town, ended up tripling the cost of the price. And if I flew out on a Sunday and there was tube work going on, I couldn't even get to where the cheap buses were to get me back to Stansted. And so I'd end up spending literally triple the price for my plane ticket just for the cab out to Stansted. So sometimes what you want to do is look and see those legacy carriers. See if there's a British Airways flight or a Lufthansa flight or a KLM flight. Look at those as well and kind of compare. When do they get in? When do they depart? Can I still use public transportation? Because if you can get in and it's only a £5 trip, a £5 tube trip in from Heathrow versus a £100, taxi ride, that can be a big difference, okay? So I hope this helps answer your question what the best cheap airline is when you come to Europe. For me, it's EasyJet, but always check other airlines as well to see what works for you with your schedule, your timing, and where you're gonna be going, okay? So if you have other questions about travel, let us know in the comment section below, and I'll say bye from here in beautiful York, England.